Right. Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go into the charts. So it looks like Bitcoin did not do very much within that rise that it had up there as a stop volume to take out the shorts before heading lower. Let's find out on midweek reversal Thursday. And before I head into work, let's go ahead and take a look at High Block Capital. What is High Block? Well, it's a place where people lock their liquidity into the charts to get burnt to a crisp by the market maker for not using a stop loss. And we get to see where those crispy characters lie in wait. So the 307 million that we outlined last time as a reason to close the short was the reason, because they did come up and gobble up that 307 million without hesitation.
Fatality.
Are they going to head lower after gobbling up the 50x and 100x people, or come up to his partner in crime at 25x up here at 30,603? Let's expand our vision to the higher time frame pools. Okay. Expanding our vision, we see that on the 7-day, we did take out some liquidity to the downside, and now it looks like there is some retrace in order to the upside in upwards of 31.4. This entire short is screaming to get reclaimed. I'd be careful if you were in a short and maybe possibly position in a long. On the 7-day, it's calling for a retrace. On the monthly, however, it is possible to come lower into that 29.2 region as we outlined before on the 2-year time frame. Hopefully my music is not doubling up. What's up, CNC? Dingo, how's it going? So on the monthly time frame, we are still seeing a possibility of the double digits down below that we could come to reclaim by coming lower. We outline for that every day. If we go to the 3-month, the imbalance has been reclaimed in some regard in double digits at 29.4. Do we start to head up into that region to take out the 7-day pools and possibly come into the external liquidity for that sustained attack, or do we need to come lower? Is Thursday going to be? If we look at the 6-month, it does have more down below, but in the larger pools building for that higher time frame narrative, do we start to shift up to that region? If we look up to the 2-year, this is what we're talking about. There's nearly $179 billion of it, 33.2, and 32.8 has 162 billion, and 32.4 has 175 billion dollars. Do we reclaim this 96 billion at 29.2 before heading up to this region, or was that satisfactory to take out that 29.4 wick area? Let's find out as we go into the momentum. All right, so let's turn on our momentum indicators. Link in the description for more. MomentumMaster.info. Scroll to features. Toggle each of them to see what they look like installed, or read about each component as we go over it. All right, so let's go take a look, shall we? So we did see a surge up after closing that short, and we're going to take a look and see. It looks like it's breaking down at this fib retrace region on this that it did come up to. We did get a bounce off the 786 pocket on that second attack yesterday. Let's go ahead and see where the momentum lies today. As it stands right now, you're oversold on the 5-15 hourlies. Getting to that point, you are kind of making a double top. You had 3 time frames oversold up here. Are we starting to make our way lower? Let's go see how the dollar is reclaiming. It is making that reclamation idea I put out as coming back to the range. If that's the case, we could see the continued bleed out of this M. If we go to 4-hour. So the 4-hour cloud is mighty thick on this downward selling pressure momentum, this sub 30K region, getting a lot of sell-off here and holding, strangely enough. So are we going to see this 29.2 reclaim this wick and properly trade this region for the midweek reversal, kind of acting as if it has some support, yet it's giving the impression of weakness? Let's start our daily descent through the time frames. We are getting that bounce off of the cloud here, seemingly so. The daily candle closes in an hour. I have to be at work in an hour, so I will not be here to see this close, but it will likely close above this cloud, giving the impression of a support structure forming on the daily time frame cloud here. This is what you see for the daily time frame kiss of the cloud idea. The stochastic is completely oversold, and the Williams could reset a little bit more on this close. The money flow coming beneath the RSI here, suggesting you could get a push up at some point, ever so slight in the curvature of that, and the fatigue on the 22 getting to that sweet oversold region. We did close out one candle in a strength, green strength, and are we going to start to reclaim these baselines is the question. If we come to the 12-hour time frame, 12-hour attempting to reclaim this baseline and start to curve it back up after this cross down event on Saturday, and we've seen this steady suppression of the price with the cross down event. Are we going to start to double bottom our way out of here? On the oscillators, we do have a green oversold region. We pointed that out to you yesterday. Are we going to continue to see that alongside the 6-hour? 6-hour getting the rising sun, double bottom idea. You do have a cross up on the 6-hour. You're getting a meandering of the stochastic RSI, but this could be a pause before you continue higher. This could be your double bottom idea. Need this baseline to hold if it's going to be genuine. Let's look at the 4-hour. Just to let you know, I'm not in anything right now. I'm just observing, looking for a entry, if possible, some sweet divergence. It looks like we have some divergence here on the money flow. So we had a lower money flow back here and a higher money flow over here, suggesting some bullish divergence on the money flow. So we're starting to get that burst of the money flow here and the pause possibly of the 50 level before we break to go up on the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour is overbought though, something to be aware of. And if we look at the hourly attempting to reclaim the cloud, we talked about the cloud watching the cloud reclamation idea. The cloud is starting to get thin. Something to note here. If this hourly cloud closes above this level here and this cloud starts to thin, well, that suggests a narrative shift in the cloud structure here. You're starting to get a curvature in a manner here too, ever so slight. So this could be, you are having the cross down event on the the baselines here. So until this starts to come back above it, you are seeing a lot of fake outs, cross down, cross up, cross down on the baselines. On the hourly struggling in this region, a lot of buying and selling pressure, not really resetting, in ambiguous zone for all the oscillators as well on the hourly. The one thing to note is the thinning cloud. The purple thinning is possibly giving you a signal of potential shift. This is once again midweek reversal Thursday, so you're looking for some sort of reversal to the narrative. The narrative has been to the downside since basically Monday. Monday takes you down, Tuesday kind of takes you down, Wednesday takes you back up to take you back down. So are we going to see a shift out of here for the Thursday play? Let's go outline the pools and bid you adieu. I can't give a thorough update, as thorough as I would like, because I have to be heading out soon. Let's see where the retrace is. So this kind of, we're making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, break of structure, displacement, making a higher high, higher low, lower high, higher low, starting to build a potential narrative out of here. So we did retrace into the deep retrace regions of the 886 of this impulse out of here. Not a very strong bounce thus far. You are getting the 4 time frames oversold. The 6 and the 12 seem to be the ones that are going to lead you to the promised land. So let's go take a look at those one last time and start building the pools. So how does the 6-hour candle close in an hour's time? Does it close above these baselines similar to where it's at and start to build this narrative of coming out of here to come up to these pools? I'm here for it either way. Also taking a look at the 12-hour. 12-hour needs to start closing some candles above 30K to start to build this narrative of negation of this cross down event. So when you start closing some candles up above this region, as it stands on the 1 minute, you're pinging in ambiguously on both sides. So you have 49 million as opposed to 63. There's slightly more interest in the shorts than there are in the longs from this immediate pinging. We just now taken out the 100x pool of longs, so coming back into these 50x, maybe taking out this partner in crime at 30,603 could be in order. You do have longer pools that are from back here, these 100 million characters, and not so rich up in this region. So do they displace this guy? If you're patient and you just say it's too ambiguous for me, I'm going to wait for something more what's the word I'm looking for, more obvious, than coming into these regions and taking out some of these pools and taking out all this yellow down to 29K would be a more obvious entry for some sort of bounce to the 32K region. Is this enough? Is taking the 18 to 28 billion enough to give us a huge push? I don't know. It might just be a liquidity grab bounce to take out some of the shorts before continuing for the real attack down below too. Either way, reclaiming this vector candle in some fashion up to the regions of, let's just even say frugally up to this region, would be something to see at this time on the 12 and this. You're getting the 22, the 12, and the 6 in your favor here, in conjunction with the 4-hour cross. 4-hour is overbought, but you have the cross up event until you don't. You are getting this thick cloud that needs to be negated, so you might bang your head up against this cloud and get rejected at some stage, and then come like down a little bit and then go up. So look for a reclaiming with confirmation, with vigor, above the 30K region up to the 30,002-ish region. Chill out, create your little baby dragon, and then possibly come to reclaim this range. If we look at the hourly time frame, once again, that hourly cloud is the thing to note. We just closed out the hourly bearish. Once again, this cross down event is having you until it doesn't. The ambiguousness of the reset still could come down for a double bottom entirely. So waiting for that confirmation for myself personally. Ultimately, I'd like to see a bounce to the upside, if I'm being honest. So if you can stand to the drawdown and you just want to get and test that idea, the thinning of the cloud here on the hourly does suggest that we could be building ourselves a narrative out of here. I'll be looking at it on my way to work today. I will be teaching about retro reflection and total internal reflection with mirrors and holograms and things like that. We'll be doing a mirrors lesson today, so I have to get in the mode to teach that. Thankfully, I know it like the back of my hand, so I don't need to think much about it. But yeah, so that is today's agenda. So yeah, if you see this kind of double bottom, it's not really giving me a clear signal right now, but this one thing to note is the cloud shift here. If we can reclaim this cloud at 29,884, still the cross down event is giving me the ambiguousness. The 4-hour cross up and the 6-hour cross up is starting to build a narrative structure to change to the upside if it can maintain these levels. Remember, even when this happened back here on Saturday, July 8th, it did come down further, and when it closed above that baseline, the fat boy baseline, then boom, we saw ourselves a surge to the upside and ultimately beyond. So it could go below it, but if the candle gets bought back above the baseline idea is still intact. So you're looking for this to hold essentially and see if it wicks down and gives you a nice fill at some point if you trust that it's going to get bought up and you keep a nice stop in place. We are holding the weighted moving average. This is the 200 weighted on the 6-hour, which also happens to be the daily cloud idea. So the cloud is still strong, and our daily trend is to the upside, so you'd be looking for that type of play, if I do say so myself. I have to get ready to take my son to school in a moment here. So the baselines on the 12-hour also attempting to try to create this scooping beneath the price idea. They're not yet beneath the price action, so it could be another until Friday before that surge up. We could be going sideways or a little bit lower on Thursday to fake people out and then shift out on Friday. Are we going to come back for another hit to the low? Technically, it was down there. If we draw it from the very bottom, then you could come off of the 706 from here too. 29,706. Do we come back and reclaim this level? All right, so looking for a narrative structure. Now is not the time apparently, so we have to see what this cloud will give on the hourly. It looks like it's starting to thin in a manner here, which could suggest at some stage we see ourselves a play out of here. So looking for that kind of deep retrace of this wick here and possibly giving an entry level. This could be giving you that midweek reversal idea to build to that 100x pool 30,603. All right, ladies and gents, I got to cut it short today, so I will catch you laters. And so hopefully this provided you with some value. So thank you for coming on into live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day. We'll do the same. Bring in the fire, the actually, the precision, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.